One of the common attacks against the resurrection of Jesus Christ is what's known as the wrong tomb theory. And what this states is that the disciples went to the wrong tomb thinking that it was Jesus Christ's tomb, and when it was empty, came back and told everybody that he had resurrected. And so the question at hand is, does this match some of the historical evidence that we see that's purported in the Bible? One of the things that we see in Matthew chapter 27 through 28 is that Jesus is crucified, that he is buried in a tomb by Joseph of Arimathea, that the women go and they find a tomb empty and they report that to the disciples. In Matthew chapter 27, verses 62 through 66, the Jews ask Pontius Pilate to secure this tomb because they remember what Jesus said about being raised from the dead 3 days later. And Pontius Pilate gives them permission and even sets guards at that tomb. So two major groups involved in the burial of Jesus Christ know exactly where his tomb is. The Jews know where his tomb is, and the Romans know where his tomb is. And we also see that there are women who discover this tomb that's being emptied. And so the women also know the tomb is empty, and they relay that to the disciples. So let's just take a survey of all of the groups that know about this tomb: the Romans, the Jews, and the disciples of Jesus Christ. Now, if the disciples went to the wrong tomb and the Jews and the Romans knew about this, why didn't they just go to the right tomb, exhume the body, and march it down Main Street of Jerusalem, thereby undercutting the entire argument that Jesus' disciples had? And doesn't it pose the question that if they went to the wrong tomb and yet the Romans and the Jews didn't go and remove the body from the tomb, that somehow insinuates that they had forgotten where the tomb was? So this leads to a big convoluted deal in which, in order for the theory to be right, everybody, the disciples, the Jews, and the Romans, had one group session of mass amnesia in forgetting where Jesus' body was. Maybe, just maybe, the reason that the tomb was empty wasn't because anybody went to the wrong tomb. It was because Jesus actually did rise from the grave 3 days later.